Did you hear the rumors that Tom Brady might be retiring?
Yeah, I'm not sure it's true. I think it's probably just speculation. But if it were me, I probably would retire if it gave me more time to watch Emily in Paris.
He's the most talked about NFL player probably in history. But for the last week, the worst kept secret came true. Tom Brady is officially retiring as the superstar NFL quarterback. So with me is John Rush. He is a former CFL player with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and, of course, a Grey Cup champion and knows a thing or two about the game. So, John, who better to have than you to sort of put this into context for us? You know, the story breaks that he's going to retire. Then he puts out a statement, no, that he's not retiring. And then 48 hours later, he is officially retiring. It's got to hand it to Tom Brady. Everybody's still talking about him.
Yeah, it's. I mean, that's Tom Brady's biggest thing is everyone's been talking about him for ever, right? So he's it's not he's no rookie to controversy and people talking about him all the time. But it's kind of almost a little bit sad that he didn't get to kind of come out on his own terms. That it was leaked beforehand that he didn't get to go out the way he really wanted to, and you kind of got to feel bad for him. And he's had such a historic career that you would have wanted him to end it not on such a kind of controversial note. But just looking back on everything he's accomplished, it's really crazy to see. And like kind of when everyone's putting all these stats out, to put it all of that he's accomplished into perspective now.
When you do look back, he's being referred to as the GOAT when it comes to quarterbacks, greatest of all time, 7 Super Bowl wins, and really has elevated the game and the personality behind the game. But you mentioned controversies. He's no stranger to them. Who could forget Deflategate? That's the one that's really top of mind. But from your perspective, what are some of the most memorable Tom Brady moments? It's hard to pick pick one in particular because it's 22 seasons, but what stands out for you most?
Definitely one of the biggest ones that stands out to me, and I was in high school when this happened. It's so crazy to think that he's outlasted, he's been in the professional sports, since I was a child.
I'm not concerned with next week, I'm concerned with today. And if I put myself in a position today to do well, then when the time is ready for me to play, I'm going to be ready to play.
So thinking back on all of that he's accomplished, and all his controversies, it's so crazy. But one of the biggest ones that will always stay in my mind is what is a literal rule change came into place when the forward motion. It basically the Oakland Raiders don't go and win the Super Bowl because of this rule change. And the most recent run, like you said, being Deflategate.
But tonight, squaring off against allegations brought on by Deflategate.
I didn't alter the ball in any way.
Having a rule change in the middle of a game because of how good of a player you are, it's just unheard of. It just doesn't happen, right? So, and like I said, that happened back when I was in high school too. So for him, for me to be talking about it now and him just retiring, and I've been watching him since high school. It seems like it seems insane, right? But it's just really crazy to kind of put that into perspective.
I think Tom Brady, like other superstar athletes within their respective sports, they focus the attention so much on them, where other aspects of the game or their teams get lost. But the fact is, someone like Tom Brady playing Monday Night Football or Sunday Football, they bring ratings to NFL. They bring, and with ratings comes revenue. And you and I both know that, if you have one superstar, people are going to focus on that and watch that. It's not dissimilar in soccer. Really, pick any sport. And Tom Brady was that guy. He was probably one of the most dangerous players to be up against. They could be down by 10 points, with 3 minutes left on the clock, and they could still eke out a win because Tom Brady is the quarterback. It's like Tiger Woods going, you don't want to be in the final group with Tiger Woods on Sunday at the Masters because he's probably going to win. So
Exactly.
these big names, these sort of superstars, keep the NFL really at front and center. So what does it mean that someone like him and someone with his name is leaving the sport?
It's a great point, and it's huge. It's a huge loss to the NFL and the sports community in general, for so many different reasons. And you look back on all the different teams and players that kind of came through the New England Patriots and then the Bucks, and it's not like Tom Brady was good and then he was just on a team with a lot of other amazing players that's why they won so much. No, Tom Brady was amazing, and he made everyone else around him amazing. And to lose a player like that is huge for the teams he was on, but also, like you said, for the ratings of the NFL. And like it or not, sports in general, we're in the entertainment business. We're just another form of reality TV, and that's what these leagues thrive on. So it's a huge loss, and I'm sure everyone's been loving the ratings this past week because everyone's been talking about it. But to lose that kind of player, that caliber of a player, that not only brings up himself and his own team, but the rest of the league, is huge, right? So it's unfortunate, but I'm really excited to see, because that's one of the things that always happens, right? Is one great retires and then someone takes over, and to see who that next person is going to be really exciting.
I certainly don't envy the producer that's going to have to put together Tom Brady's highlight reel, which will be playing over the course of however long till we see him officially leave. But like so many other great quarterbacks and players, they go on to many other things. Steve Young, of course, the great quarterback from the 49ers. He went on to commentate, and now my favorite quarterback was the New York Giants, Eli Manning, who, by the way, beat Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl.
He did.
And of course, with his brother Peyton Manning, the great quarterback from the Colts, they have a show now, and they're very popular with their commentating, and they bring on all sorts of celebrities and guests.
You guys are doing an amazing job, so keep it up. Although I much prefer seeing you both on the football field, I think you guys are doing a pretty great job here too.
Do you see Tom Brady doing something like that, or does he just go off and have a fabulous modeling career with his beautiful wife and his gorgeous children and just collects millions of dollars? What's he going to do?
Yeah, it's really interesting, and because a lot of people, when they look at professional athletes, they just see them as athletes, right? You look at LeBron James, you're like, he's an amazing basketball player, but no one really, a lot of the times, a lot of people don't really see them as human beings that have interests and that they like to do. They have hobbies. They like to do other things than play sports.
But I'm not just into football. I'm into so much more. Yes, it's true that I can throw the pigskin in a most efficient way, as you can tell. But look past the football plays, and you will be amazed at all the other things that I do well.
And don't get me wrong, I played football for 17 straight years. That was my life. I love football, but I also love cooking, and I love dogs, as you can see them running around, right? So, it's always kind of funny when people don't really see the athletes as human beings, and that's the thing. Tom Brady, he's been a businessman for quite some time now. So, will he go into something such as broadcasting? I'm not sure. I don't predict that he would do that. Peyton Manning and Eli and his other brothers, they were already doing similar things when they were in the NFL. Peyton Manning went on SNL. He was always in the State Farm commercials. Peyton Manning's a very funny man. He's got the personality to do that.
But I really think for Tom right now, it's just a tough decision between balancing his career and relationships, sort of like Emily.
Does Tom Brady? I'm not sure. I don't know Tom personally, but he doesn't strike me as that guy. He strikes me as a very he's very business minded.
Anything that really scares you? Anything that intimidates you?
The end of my playing career. Big time.
So I see him really taken over that role and probably becoming the CEO of his company and taking his TB12 brand even further and seeing where he can go with that, which will be very interesting to see where he takes that now that he can devote his full time and attention to it. Because as we've seen in sports, when he puts his mind to something, when he goes all in on something, it is something to behold.
I can kill a horse with my bare hands. I can look at you and read your mind.
So I'm very excited to see what he does next.
Well, there are going to be a lot of column inches and so much airtime taken up debating whether or not Tom Brady is indeed the greatest of all time. Log on to Facebook and Twitter. Let us know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.